So, welcome back to a little meme stock update. We will look today at AMC, what happened yesterday. Of course, we'll make a little update on GameStop. We also will take a little tiny look on the combo chart. We will look what is BYND doing now, or is it doing anything now? We will update the tracking for Webull because it made a new low yesterday. We will look at the right now perfect tracking for Tesla. And because of the 30% yesterday, I will make a little update on FFAI. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I am using the Fractal Method. I will put the explanation video at the end of the video, or you search for the playlist Fractal Method on my channel. Well, then let's jump into AMC. So today, just a little update for the full story. 1-part squeeze, 2-part squeeze, price targets, and so on. Just watch the video from yesterday. I will link it at the end of the video. Today we will just look what we have done yesterday. So let's zoom in. So one thing before we start with the tracking, because I read yesterday in the comments that I'm always taking the safe route. Yeah, because I'm always showing all the alternatives I see. I say to this, I don't care about the safe route. I don't even care if I am right. I'm not presenting this tracking to be right or better than anyone else on YouTube. Yeah, I'm just sharing my tracking. I also always look for all possibilities possible, just because if we break now a level to the upside or downside and I only present one version, then people, okay, what is the alternative? What happens then? Then I have to make another video. That's why I try to show every alternative which is there. So if we're breaking levels to the upside or downside, people can just look, okay, so this is this alternative. Great. Now we take this route. In my opinion, that's a good way. Yeah. As I said, I don't care if I care if I'm right for me personally, because most of the plays I present, I play myself. So I want to be right. Yeah. But it's not about to take the safe route. You will never see me here sitting and saying, ha, I presented 3 versions. Ha, I was right. No, I never did that. And especially if one of my tracking is really bad, I'm not deleting that. I'm staying to this mistake and I try to fix it. So for yesterday, because I posted yesterday, and I was very bullish yesterday. I really have to say that I was. Because we did something yesterday which looked very, very bullish. We wicked down, bounced, and bounced up without a double bottom. That was absolutely perfect for a V. Sadly, it wasn't. Yeah? Because at the close of the market, we broke it again. Also, sadly, I have to say, for my opinion right now, this is not the bottom. Because I will show that in a second, but first of all, this is not a wick. This is a full candle, and we already have a double bottom here. So no. We have earnings call today. I mean, all the data is already presented, so whatever. And for me personally, earnings doesn't matter at all. It's just a volatility day. But in my opinion, this isn't the low yet. Yeah, we still have to come lower. What do I mean with? So, left side, 30-minute chart now. Middle, April 16, 2024, also on the 30-minute chart. And right side, January 5th, 2021 on the 1 hour chart, because you can't go on the 30-minute chart that far back without the replay button. And what I want to show, I mean, I already showed this in the videos in the past. Every time, these are the two main squeezes for AMC. In April 2024, you wick down with a wick, not a full candle, immediately bounced, and you ran. In 2021, we also wick down, immediately bounced with one candle. Yeah. So we want to see this formation for our bottom. Yeah. Of course, now people will say this time it will be different. It doesn't have to be one-to-one. Okay. I can't argue against that. Yeah. I can just say, if I look in the past, every time on our main squeezes, we had one single wick down, immediately bounce and run. It's the same to say we can squeeze from the bottom instantly. I can just say every time in our main squeezes, we did two things: a higher low, a run to A, 0.5 pullback, and squeeze. The same in May 2024. A V, no higher low, but a run to our A and a 0.5 or 6.618 pullback, and then squeeze. Yeah. If this time is different, fine. If we just squeeze from here, I would be happy. For my tracking, I can just say, no, it never happened before. And especially we have 2 to 3 examples how a squeeze in AMC looks like. If now it's different, okay. But if now it's different, just to say that, yeah. If now it's different, you can't, sorry. If it's different this time, stop watching YouTube predictions or any predictions, because if it's different right now, it's untrackable. Then you don't even have to watch. You just sit here and wait for the squeeze. If we fractal track, it will follow the same rules as always. Yeah, just saying. So, for the main tracking now for AMC. Personally, my personal opinion, with my rules, this isn't the bottom. Not yet. Yeah. I mean, that's a 30-minute. Today, after our earnings call, maybe we already do that till market close. Yeah. Then I could see a jump at earnings. Whatever. Yeah. Would that be the jump? No. Wherever our V now is, I still am the opinion we won't break $1. Yeah. We still have to do then our higher low. Yeah. And this higher low, in my opinion, won't break this trend line. So it won't break 131-ish. Yeah. Because of the same question. What is next week? March 20 contracts safe? Depends on the volume. If we do that bottom today, finally, after months of falling, and if we do this up and down till Friday, and we are on Friday at this point, I give AMC, let's say, a 20% chance we squeeze next week. Yeah. If we're not on Friday on this high low, I give AMC 0 chance for next week. Yeah. Why? The thing is, for my main tracking, we're doing the high low, we even do the A and the A pullback, and then we can go. This we won't make till Friday. Yeah, not enough time at all. But I can live with it if we're doing this higher low till Friday and jumping this landmark. Okay, that's okay. That's why I would give it 20% then for next week if we do this higher low. Yeah. Otherwise, if we're doing one by one, in the shortest path, we're doing this week, this next week or in 2 weeks, and end of March we can go. That's the answer for the March 20 contracts. It's already very, very close for this price action. Yeah, it's volume. We need volume. We need speed. But all in all, we need these landmarks. Yeah. And one last thing for AMC, why I'm always saying, let's look on Mondays, for especially. Let's look what we're doing till Friday. AMC and GME gets their big moves or the start of the big moves always Friday, Monday. If you're not seeing a big move on a Monday, well, you won't squeeze Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Never. I think everyone who is tracking AMC agrees on that. So we didn't got a big move yesterday. I mean, not to the upside. So we won't see a squeeze today, tomorrow, on Thursday. That's sadly a fact. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Next one is GameStop. Also for GameStop, if you want to see the full story with how would the next squeeze look like and price targets, just watch the video from yesterday. Today we just look what we have done yesterday. And for GameStop, I have to say, it's not looking for me ready either. Yeah. But I will present you still 3 versions. This time with, I mean, I'm always saying my opinion, I think. I don't know how some people think I'm not saying my opinion. Let's start with the absolute bearish version. Yeah. This is just a rejection, nothing. We will knife 17.15, we go. Yeah? Don't think that. My main tracking is still that November was our V. Then we did a little tiny higher low. And right now we are doing the bigger higher low. Is this bigger higher low finished? For my personal opinion and my main tracking, no. Yeah. For my personal opinion, we just did T in the best case, and we won't break this trend line yet. In my opinion, you still have to come down to 21.36. V under A, 786 fib. And then you will break out and do your big A, which is over our T line, so over 28 to 35-ish dollars, doing the 0.5 or 0.618 pullback, and then you squeeze. And at this point here, AMC would be finished too. How long this would take? Volume. Volume. If we suddenly, today or tomorrow, knife down to 21.30 and on Thursday we jump up to A, we can finish this on Friday. If not, waiting for landmarks. Yeah. So the bullish version, the bullish alternative is that this is not a higher low, that this is our tiny A. What do I mean with that? That means V stays the same November. Higher low stays the same in January. And this right now is just little a. Little a of what? Little a of this big A. Means we would, I come to that in a second, we would do down now B. So up, pull back, and up again to our little C. That would be the, I don't know, I don't even know if I put that as a bullish alternative, because the main problem with this is this A took you 54 days or if you take it from here to here, 38 days. And that's only little a. If you now need 50 days for B and 50 days for C, that would be bad. Yeah. But still, 4 levels. In that case, if this is your V, this is your higher low, this is your A peak, and this is your A pullback. Technically, this could be right because your T is lower where it started, so finished, we bounce at the 0.5. So in that case, confirmation for this is if you break over this T. So anything over $24, absolute confirmation is anything over $25. Then you go up. Yeah. And then this was little a, perfect 0.5 bounce, and you go. I just don't know if we want to see that. I really don't know. Because just time. If we really want to do that slow, I don't know. Yeah, because if you're doing that slow, that's 100% not March. And most likely not April either. Yeah, so. But it's not about what we want. It's about levels. Okay. Last one of these two is the combine chart. So, for people who don't know what it is, this is just AMC plus GME together. Yeah, there's an option on TradingView where you can put in AMC plus GME or any other stock, and it will create you a chart combined out of two. Of course, with this chart, GME has a more heavy position in this chart because it's the higher number, also the stock price is higher. That also means if AMC is moving, I don't know, 10 cents, 50 cents, you won't even see a really impact in this chart. If GME is moving $2 or $5, this you will see on this chart. That what I mean with it's heavier weighted in this chart. It's only a theory with the combat chart, but the combat chart looks like how it should look like for both. Yeah, because the absolute low was April 2020. Then you made a higher low in 2021. Perfect squeeze. Here you see the normal squeeze of AMC and the drop of AMC. And in April 2024, this whole thing is just a macro higher low. And what we did since April 2024 is just a micro higher low of the higher low. The same what we are tracking in GameStop right now. So for this chart, we just look at the ending of this micro higher low. And here, it's even more perfect than GameStop. Because we had our V in December 25. Our T is finished. We broke out of this multi-year trend line. And right now, we are in the retest out of it. To say that, doesn't matter if we are finished or not. Just for landmarks wise, what is this? Yeah. If this is our V here in December, and this is our micro higher low, this is just A. What do I mean with it? The same what I showed you with GME a second before. You still have your B, you still have your C, which is your big A. Yeah. So we are in the A pullback right now. And also for the combat chart, you see that we bounced yesterday at the 0.5. The thing is, I still think that this bounce is not finished yet. I still think that even the combat chart has to fall. Yeah. For the combat chart, I still think we have to fall at least to 23.36 or a complete breakout retest, yeah, at 22.60. And I showed that in the, I don't know if it's the last video, but one of the last two videos, the price of this combat chart is AMC plus GME. If the combat chart is dropping to 23.63, GME will go to the 21 landmark. Yeah. So I think both AMC and GME are not at their bottom yet. I mean, GME is at its bottom yet. Yeah. But GME has to do the A pullback. AMC still has to find its bottom. But if you want to hear my opinion about next week, so small for next week. So small. But I'm just showing my version of tracking, and I won't use God like some others. And I'm not using Hopium. Just what I see. Okay. Next one is BYND. So also for BYND, the full update. Just watch the last video. Today, we will just jump in and look what we have done yesterday. Yeah. And I have to say, nothing really changed. Yeah. I mean, to say this, if you just look at this T, yeah, I'm still the opinion we are at the finish line. Yeah, I'm still the opinion that February 5th was our bottom, was the finish of the higher low, and since then we're just doing sideways shit because this is a micro higher low, this is a micro higher low, this is a micro higher low. Yeah, and since beginning of February, we're doing higher low, higher low, higher low. Yeah, so for the most bullish way, yeah, we just go today, tomorrow, yeah. For my main tracking, because people want to hear my absolute opinion. For my main tracking, I don't think we will see something till Friday, just because it's end of February and next week is already March, and it will be explained by it's a new month, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So what we would do till Friday, I would expect we even do another higher low, micro higher low, till Friday. And closing on Friday somewhere in here, 71 cents or something like that. And next Monday we go. That would be my main opinion. The alternative to this is we still have a gap here. If you look, I'm talking about this little gap from 66 cents to 65 cents ish. Then we would look at this as a complete higher low, and that means we hopefully most likely fill this gap till Friday. Closing on Friday here at 65 cents. Next week we go. The bearish alternative still stands, sadly, means we break. We break through here, and then we only have the chance to holding this higher low, so not breaking all-time low. Yeah. This would still be okay if this whole thing is a higher low. If you're breaking down here and making a new low, it's the same shit then like FFAI, then we have to start all over again. I'm not thinking that, not impossible. But the dangerous part with this then is, I think there is already a vote gone through for a reverse split. I tell you, if we break down there, it gets dangerous that they are doing a reverse split. It isn't changing the tracking at all, but it will fuck your shares and it will fuck your options. Yeah, the tracking is still the same. It's just a higher price then. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. Next one is Tesla. Also, for the full story, just watch the video of yesterday. Today we just look at what we have done in the last weeks. So let's zoom in. So Tesla right now is tracking perfectly. It's absolutely nice. We are right now in the pullback of our small b. And in my opinion, we are at the end of the pullback of the small b. Our next one is the volatility run to our big B and our small c. So as I showed in the last weeks, is already that here is our V of our B, exactly here, on February 5th. And since then, we are doing this higher low. And I said in the last videos, I want to see a drop under 397. And we perfect, I think I already said that back here. Yeah. And we did it perfectly yesterday. One knife down, perfectly under. So for my main tracking, we are finished. This higher low is finished. BYND finished. I still think we will get the big move next week. So what, no financial advice. So what would we do till then? In the best case, we're doing just a high low till Friday, holding this level about 390, 393. Next week, boom, boom candles. Why ever? Yeah, Elon Musk is merging, buying shares, whatever. The alternative is, because we still have a gap here, 394, 389, yeah, that we gap fill this. As long as we're not touching 387, everything is fine. We do this till Friday and then we go. Perfect. The absolute bearish alternative just means we break down, I'm wrong, and it's over. Yeah. But my main opinion, because people always want to hear my main opinion, is we ending this higher low this Friday. If it's now from here higher low, or if we gap fill, doesn't mean anything for me. The only important thing for me is we ending this higher low till Friday, and from wherever, if we are going from down here or from up here, next week is boom boom candles. Yeah? Okay. Next one is bull. And for bull again, for the full story, watch the video of yesterday. The only sad part about bull is that it quite did the same thing like FFAI a few weeks ago. Because we tracked, or I tracked this whole thing here as a higher low. And yesterday, this higher low died. Yeah, because a new low. And I already heard some voices, yeah, but it was only a little volatility, wick down, and this is still higher low. No. It's the same bullshit I heard from other people on AMC, that they are still tracking AMC in a higher low. No. If you break under the point where higher low is started, that's not higher low anymore. Yeah, this it isn't even a fractal rule. If you break a higher low, the higher low is gone. End of story. Yeah, this higher low broke. End of story. We made a new all-time low. Yeah. Problem is now, what will happen next? So the thing is that now our bottom? And the shitty part is, because we are in a new all-time low, I can't tell you that. Yeah. It's the same like FFAI. We have to wait now to find our bottom. What is the confirmation for that? A higher low. The same shit we did here. So wherever our bottom is now, yeah, let's say it was yesterday, the bottom. We still have to do now the higher low. And that's the shitty part here. That's really the shitty part here. Because if this would have held with the gap fill, we could already go to A. Right now, we still have to do the higher low. We won't break $6. ish, yeah, higher low, and then we can go. Yeah. My last target was that March 20 would be our A. With this break yesterday, I only can say this A, if this was the bottom yesterday, will most likely be April. Yeah. It's also shit for myself because I had to sell some March contracts yesterday. But this target with March 20, with this new low, most likely isn't holding. Yeah. If this was the V, this A will go into April, in my opinion. It still looks perfect. Yeah. But right now it's just adding time. Sadly. Yeah. In that case, I mean, I could say now I had no chance. Sorry. Yeah. I really had no chance. This looked perfect as a high low, but it was just wrong. Yeah. So looking for a V now, then higher low. For people who are not in the stock yet, I have to say hands off. Right now, in my opinion, no financial advice. Wait for the higher low. Yeah. Nothing else. Okay. Last one is FFAI. So for FFAI, because it wasn't in the last video, I will make a little summary. Before we start with the summary, I just saying I was already wrong on FFAI because I tracked this year as a higher low, but we broke down. So similar to Bull, to Webull, this tracking was wrong. I can say no, I had no chance because this looked really perfect for a higher low, but it was just T. Yeah. But still, wrong is wrong. For the fractal, we have our C, our lower high, perfect midpoint, perfect T. And maybe we already found our bottom yet. For our next targets, our next A is at 153. Our next big B is at $5,000. Again, without the forward split, you won't come up here. Not happening. For real price targets, our next A changed because now our next A is over 350. Our next B is over 35. And our rejection line is still 153, where you won't break without a forward split and you will die. But I mean, who cares if we really run to 150? Also to say, before we go into the micro tracking, I still don't think we see A or B. Yeah? Every time when FFAI is doing its V and higher low, it just runs to its C. Every time. But I will come to that in a second. For the tracking, well, this could now be our bottom, and we bounced at it with a 30% move. So are we squeezing now? And I still have to say no. In my opinion, what you will do now, and that's also the reason why I was so fucking angry that we broke this. Yeah, because if this higher low a few weeks in the past, if this higher low would have held, we could already be in squeeze territory. With this shitty breakdown and maybe the bottom right now, we have to do this fucking higher low again. Yeah? And this fucking higher low, in my opinion, won't break $1.11. In my opinion, we won't even break 89 cents. Then we fell down again, and then we can squeeze. Yeah? Of course, I already know people who will scream at me now, no, this time will be different. No, we squeeze from the B. Yeah? It's not 1-to-1. Yeah? Just to say this, first of all, if this time is different, Why are you even looking for tracking? If this time is different, which it might be, I'm not 100% saying not impossible, but then it's untrackable. If this time is different, it's untrackable. Yeah? If not, then just look at the last squeezes we had. First one, December 2024. What did we do? We did a V, we did a higher low, and then we squeeze. Also, this was a 37% bounce from the bottom. And then higher low, and then we squeeze. That was the little squeeze. Then we look at the big one, May 2024. We found our bottom. We bounced from this bottom 30%. Then we even did a second higher low. It's 36%. And then we got our 10,000% move. Yeah. Same, look, the lower high. V. Okay, that was a bigger move. But V, higher low, squeeze. Same for our M. V, higher low, squeeze. Yeah. Just same. Yeah. I, for tracking, can only look in the past because the fractal is repeating. For me personally, you will never hear this time is different, because if this time is different, I can track it. And second, you will never hear from me, we can squeeze from the V. Because in my opinion, it's just opium and bullshit. On every stock. Yeah. And for FFAI, we never squeeze from the V. So for what could you do? I mean, for FFAI, if we now go up here, 114, that's still a 90% run. Yeah, not big, because 90% for FFAI is not big. Yeah, but my personal opinion, I will wait for the higher low to be finished. Yeah. This could still take some time. Let's see. Okay. As always, explanation video here. Playlist with the full videos, with the big long videos for AMC and GME here. And if you want to see more, you can leave me an abo. Let's see what happens this week. See ya.